Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go on. Go on,
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Now from the previous class, some of you were complaining about the installation. So I'm going to go through it again and then fix some of the errors you are facing while trying to install. So let me share my entire screen so you can see what I'm doing now. Wait. So can you all see my screen? Okay, so let's move. So now so okay, let's start over again. So the first thing we did the last class was trying to install VS Code. So okay, so I said you should type VS Code. Now something I forgot to mention I mentioned when installing Git. So if you are using a 32-bit system, you should install a 32-bit VS Code. If you are using a 64-bit system, you should install 64-bit VS Code. So now I said during the last class I said something. When you come here, like come to your folders, come to your this PC or my computer if you are using Windows 7. So this PC is for Windows 10 and I think it's also for Windows 8. You should right click, come to property. So come to property. Let me open it up well. Come to property. Now I said you should look at this place. System type. So I'm running a 64-bit operating system. So if this place says 32, it means that whatever you're going to be installing in your system during the course of this program is going to be 32 bits, not 64. Okay, so now let me go through the process. So what I'm going to be doing today is that I'll show you how to install VS Code for 32-bit operating system, and then also show you how to install VS Code for 64 bits. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit faster than usual, and then so that we can enter we can go straight into what we have today. So just give me like a minute. Let me set up something. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So let me go about the process. So first of all, let's start with installing for 32 bits. So most of the times when you go to the VL Visual Studio Code home page, so by default what we have is 64 bits VLC Code. That is Visual Studio Editor. So like by default you have 64 bits. So if you are running a 32 bit, so if you click on this now, if you come down here, you see 64 bit user installer. So now for us to get for 32 bits, what we have to do is just come here, type VS Code 32 bits, click on enter. And what happens is that it's okay. Come down to this place. Okay, wait, I think it should be here. I'm coming. Let me find out. Okay. Come to click on docs. I think it's docs. I think it's down somewhere. Come here. I just found it before this class. Let me go back again. 2-bit Windows. Hmm. Okay, now. Hmm. So okay, let me go back through the process again so you see what I did. So when you type VL's code 32-bit Windows, click on this one, click on this second one, this place that my cursor is, this second one, running VL's code on Windows. Now scroll down. If you are using a 32-bit operating system, this is for 32-bit. You see 32-bit version, right? So click on this installer. If I click on this now, it will start installing. So for start downloading. So I will pause it because I'm using a 64-bit system, so I don't need to install this for 32-bit. Are you guys following me? So Munachi,
Yes. Yes.
this is for you. Where is this? Munachi, this is for you because I saw the error you were showing me. This the software is not compatible with your operating system. So this is how you're going
No,
to
no. See, my system also.
32-bit. Yeah. So this one I just installed.
64,
This
sorry, 64, not 32. My system.
is 64.
Yes.
64-bit. So
Yes.
if this is 4-bit
Windows 7 Ultimate.
Windows 7 Ultimate,
Yeah.
are you sure it's 64?
Yes, of course. I
Okay.
checked it.
Okay. So okay, let me go back again. Let me show you something. So you can still do this same way, like or try this one VLC. But are you doing what I'm doing currently now? So it will be more easier for you.
Yes, I can see what you.
So you can just click on download. So you can still come here then, and then if this is, you can still click on this to get this one, right? Come to this place, click on download instead of this first one. Click on download, and then click on this button, so it will start down. It will start but I don't have to download it again. I've already downloaded it before. Let me just pause this one. So I think this should solve your problem. This for VL's code. Now the next one we're going to go into is the GitHub, creating of GitHub account. So let's finish that one up. Let's finish that one, so and then we can set it up locally, and then go into how to use VS Code, and then we start writing our code today also. So now github.com. Um, so I will log out. So I created a new email for this. So now once you are logged, so once you type github.com, you are supposed to be sent this home page like this, right? You're supposed to be sent this home page. Am I clear enough?
Yes, you are.
Can you guys hear me very well?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so just click on sign up like we did that day, or we did on Monday. Click on sign up. So it's coming up. Just give it some minutes. So now enter email. So I created a new email for this class. So let me just grab the email. I've not forgotten the email address. Nope, not this one. Okay. So I have to create a new one. So I'll just paste the email address. So so the next one. So now the next one is entering the password. So I'll just put up my own password. Um okay, let me take this out. So I'll continue. So click on continue. So and I'll be asked to enter a username. So okay. I'm just look for a username. So please, you should mute yourself. Once you're not, just mute yourself, except if you have a question, please. So okay. So I'll say no. I don't need it. If you want GitHub to be sending you email notifications, you can just click on Y for yes. So let's just the puzzle. Start puzzle. Two identical objects. Two identical objects. I think it's this one. Two identical objects. Okay. So once you're done with the puzzle, it will. Okay. So let me verify. So we're waiting for the email. Don't send the email yet. What's happening? They should send me an email soon. Okay, sorry. It's on the next page. Okay. So I'll just copy the code. Then paste the code. So now you should just come down here and skip. Just click on skip personalization. Just click on this skip. So now we already have a working GitHub account. So it's loading up. So do you guys follow? Do you guys get what I just did now on how to create a new GitHub account?
Yes.
Okay. So Caleb, do you have a question? I see you raising up your hand.
Actually, the question I wanted to ask was this. I thought instead of going to Google to download VS Code, you could just go to File Hippopo, I think, and just access some other places you will get.
Other, well, I feel it's more safer to download it from their official site than
Okay.
downloading from any other place because of
Okay.
malwares.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
so this is brand new. So I'm done with creating the GitHub account. So now the other thing we downloaded the last time was Git. So now let me explain Git. So now Git is an online offline version of GitHub. What happens is like Git helps you track your code, your changes locally. Then once you are done and then you are done with the project, you can just push. Like once you are done what you're currently working on, you can just push or move. Okay, let me just use move. Move the current change to your GitHub account online, right? You can just move your GitHub account online. Like the last time I explained, I said something like if you're a musician, when you tell somebody I'm a musician, you ask you where's your album or where's your song. Do you have a new song? When you tell somebody you're an artist, someone will be like, where's your paint? Like, yeah, do you have any drawing? The same way, if you tell somebody I'm a software engineer, I'm a software developer, I'm a programmer, they will ask you where is your GitHub account, right? So your GitHub account is like your portfolio, and this is one of the stuff that we help you.
Hello, we can't hear you again. Hello, Mr. Pan, we can't hear you. Or is it network?
Joseph, are you there? Hello, Joseph. Maybe his network is disturbing. Let's just wait for a name coming.
Sorry for the wait. Sorry, I'm so sorry. My data went off, so I wasn't looking. So now I've explained a lot. So like the next thing we installed was Git, right? So Git is the offline version of GitHub. So the Git allows you to track. Okay, my screen is not even sharing. Wow, sorry. So now, like as I was saying, so Git is the offline version of GitHub. So Git allows you to save those changes locally. While when you are done working on Git using Git to save your changes, then you can push to GitHub. Now, like I said yesterday, if you are a musician and you tell somebody I'm a musician, someone will be like, the next thing they'll ask you, do you have a song? Where is your album? So the same way, if you tell somebody I'm a painter or I'm an artist, they'll ask you where is your drawing. So this same applies for software engineering and computer science in general. When you tell somebody I'm a developer, I'm a programmer, they'll ask you where is your GitHub account. So now your GitHub account is your career portfolio, right? It's your career portfolio. So now, so it's very important. This is one of the topic that is often neglected in computer training centers, but we decided to bring it up here so it will make you let me say over prepared for whatever you're going to be facing after this boot camp. So that you'll be over prepared. Now Git. So for this Git, the same way we did for GitHub, and we did for VL's code. So man, let me calm down. So now, if you're using a 32-bit operating system, just install 32-bit. If you're using 64, install 64. This is for 64, right? This is for 32. I said, sorry, this is for 64. This is for 32 bits. So if you're using 64, just install 64. If you're using 32 bits, install 32 bits. So we already did that one yesterday, so I'm not going to say install it again. So now, so that yesterday we are trying to set up something. We're trying to set up our GitHub locally. Now and there was this command. I posted something on the group this morning, a text file on the group this morning. So we are still going to be using the same text file again this night. So I don't have to type plenty commands. So I'll just copy from the text file and then write and then paste. So I'm going to open it up like yesterday. So the next thing is let me open up my Git. So I will just do Git. So I'll open. What's happening? So it's coming. No, it's taking time. Mm, mm, wow. So let me go back to download and just reinstall the one I had before. Mm, I don't know why it's taking time. Let me just reinstall this new one. So like we did yesterday, just click on next, next, wait, okay, just next, 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 next. Just keep clicking next till keep clicking on next till to reach the final stage. So coming up. So now it's currently installing. So it's coming. Let's just give it some minutes. Okay. So just click on launch. I'll just launch it. Now next thing now personally I'll just right click and then pin it to my task bar. So it will be very easy for me next time. So now let's start. So now the next thing is for us to set up our git locally. Let's set up our git locally. So I'm going to open up that text file. I already sent this text file in the git in the WhatsApp group. Just copy this first one. The next thing you should know that this is no paste control V doesn't work here, so you need to right click on paste, right? Click on paste. So now just put your username. So I'm going to click on enter. Are you guys following me?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So now the next one, just copy this second one. Put the email address, the one you use in creating the GitHub account. I'll just grab that one now. Mm, that's funny. So I'll just get the email address. This one, this one. So I just paste. So it's very important for you to make sure it's the one you have on your GitHub account that you're adding here, right? So that because when you're trying to push to GitHub in our subsequent videos and subsequent lessons, it will automatically search this email address on GitHub and then with this username and then upload your code. So the next one here is this, which I'm just going to grab. I don't have to make any changes on this one, just paste, click on enter. So the next one is this, paste, just click on enter also. paste, click on enter. So we are done setting up our GitHub locally, right? So we can now use our GitHub, our Git locally. Now let's pause on this Git. So I'm going to merge the VS Code and the Git together. So let's move to how to use VS Code. So now let's open VS Code, Visual Code. Maybe I'll just put that one. Wow. So now once you start your project, basically you're going to be having a blank page, right? You're going to be having a blank page. Now for this class, first of all, we need to create a folder outside this. So this folder will contain all our code throughout this entire project. So I'm going to go to document. I'm going to be creating a folder in my document, right? So I'll name it bootcamp. I'm going to create a new folder, your normal the way like creating your normal folder. So I'll call this one bootcamp. So now I'm going to come to this place, right? Now this VL code, Visual Studio Code, this is the basic template. Now to open up the file, just click on File, and this file has some options for you here. You have create new text file, create new file, open new window, open file, open folder, open a workspace, open recent. So now, so I'm going to click on open folder. If you already have the folder offline, you already have the folder on our system, on my system. I'll just come navigate to documents. The same way you can navigate to any other with any other app or software. So I need to go down. So I'll just get okay bootcamp. This is the bootcamp. I'll click select folder. So it automatically opens this bootcamp folder here. So let me go over again. Let me go over this again. So I basically created a folder in my documents, like in my doc. You can create it anywhere in your own system. So I like organizing my stuff. So I created it on my document. I called it bootcamp. Right now, opened my Visual Studio Code. Click on File. Click on Open Folder to enable me open a folder. So then I navigated throughout my entire system to locate my documents. Click on Then I clicked on the folder, the bootcamp folder I already created. Then click on select folder. So this opens up that bootcamp folder inside my VS Code. So the next thing we want to talk about is extensions. So extensions are extra features you can add to Visual Studio Code to enable you write code faster and then efficient. So these are bars here. We have search bar for you to search anything entire on this project. We have this is for GitHub. We are still going to talk about that one later. But the important thing I want us to go straight to is this extension. I'm not sure you're going to have this one right here currently. So extensions. When you click on these extensions, yesterday night I said you should download. The first thing you're going to download is Live Server. So click on Live. It's coming up. I don't know. Okay, I have my internet connection. So this first one here, this one called Live Server by this guy. This one I'm holding. So you can just click on it. So now, if you have not already installed it, you see the install icon here. So, but I installed it yesterday, so I don't need to reinstall again. So now it should appear like this, like with install button. So you just click on that install button and then it will install this live server. So now that's it for what we need to install. So now the next thing we're going to do is something very show you something now. So let's go over these other menus here. So now the next menu is edit menu. This edit menu has your undo, like your normal control Z, your redo, your cut, your copy, your paste, your find, your finding files, your replace. So this is for text editing. So the next one is selection. So most of the times you don't use this mainly, so let's leave that one. So this is for appearance. If you want to set your appearance the way you want it to open, so different stuff. But these ones are not important here. So the most important one that I want us to look at is stamina. Now this stamina is like when you click on stamina, click open up something that looks like your Git. Something looks like your Git. It's called a terminal. So most of the time, sometimes we'll be using terminal. So terminal allows you like the same like what I sent on Monday. I said that before we started having this click point mouse fancy interface in our operating systems, we used to have terminals. We used to use black and white screens. And then I said the good example is when you watch all these hacking films, you see them typing on a white and green screen, right? So that's it. So we're going to be using it. So what we need to when you open your terminal, so for us to use Git, right? GitHub, Git on this project, for us to track our project with Git. So the first thing you're going to just type is just Git init, right? Okay, just click on enter. Now it creates a new folder. If I open this, if okay, it creates a new Git. What I just saying. It will create a new. It will create a directory. So if I come to this folder here, this bootcamp, where is that bootcamp? Open it. You notice something? I have Git, something called .git here now. So this .git is where it will store all the changes and then push later it will save the whole changes and GitHub. So now there are Git commands you need to be aware of. So the first one, like I said yesterday, is push. So now push is like let me say send button. So push sends your code to the online GitHub. So pushes your code to online. Okay, sends your code to online. Now the next one is okay, the other one. So but for you to do this, you need to add the push git. For this command to work, you need to add git push. The next one is like the first one I did init git init. So this git init and creates a GitHub profile for you inside your project. So let me explain what git init does. The same way like when you go to church and they say you should give your life to Christ, and then like if you give your life to Christ, Jesus takes control over your life. The same way here. So it's like you telling GitHub, I'm telling Git, your local Git to Alpha, come and take control over this file. So you can so it will be more easier. So it will be more easier and possible for you to push to your online repo online and then back and forth. So the next one is repo. The next keyword is repo. So repo is just a folder on your GitHub. So commit. So we are going to be using all this command one soon. So let me just show you. Let me just do a brief overview. So commit adds all your changes to your Git, while push carries all the whole committed all the whole stuff and then pushes it to your GitHub. I don't know if you guys are following.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So let me continue. Now, so if you have installed the extension like I just did now, so we talked about extensions also yesterday. I said that we have some when we were talking about terminologies. So I said that when you have when you see your audio file, that basically most of the times you see .mp3, or when you look at a video, you have your normal video. You're going to be seeing at the back .mp4. Now for the web, we are going to be saying .html, right? .html. So you can see music, music page, something like music page .html. Even if you are okay, then another good example is when you are browsing with when you log into Facebook using your laptop. Basically, when you click on something, you see something like settings.html, user profile.html, all those kind of stuff.html. That's what you'll be seeing. So now we're now moving into the business of the day. So the main business of the day for today is HTML attribute. So let me just get my stuff. So okay, HTML introducing HTML attributes, HTML and HTML attributes. So we have a lot of HTML attributes and tags. So now let's just go over them, right? So now HTML is not a programming language. If you already googled about HTML, you always see people say HTML is not a programming language. So what does HTML? What do we use HTML to do? So HTML is like let me say when you are building your house, then you have your foundation. After the foundation, what happens is that people start putting rods, right? Blocks, but without paint, without doors, without windows, just blocks, right? So HTML uses tag to explain to the browser, like the same way we use rods to tell the engineer that, see, this is a pillar, or a pillar is going to be here. Use so a window is going to be here. Put a hole, put a door is going to be here. The same way HTML. So HTML just uses tags to explain to the browser how to display or render your file. Now, so let's go over them. So now for you, so there's another stuff here. So this first one is for creating a new file. This one here is for creating a folder. So this one is to refresh your this windows here, and then this one is to collapse this. The same way like clicking on this to hide. Now this first one, like, let me come over again. When you hover on this, so the simplest way, I most of the time students do get confused. So now just click over here. It will tell you the other application of this. You see new file, new folder, refresh, then collapse. The same way for these things here. Now if you hover on this, you see file explorer. If you click on this, this search, just once you hover, and then the rest extensions. Now the next thing, is click on this new file. Now it will allow you input the name of the file that you want to, and what you want to name your file. Same way when you click on new file, click on create new, and then you select the name of the file you want to create in your windows. The same way here. So I'm going to be naming this let me call it index.html. Now this .html is very important to this for this code to work, right? So now if it doesn't have .html, like the same way I said yesterday, that computer is an idiot machine. Yeah, basically what the computer does is just look at the extension of the file, and then look for a possible software that can run that file, right? So now .html is very important. So the spelling is also important. So so you must just write the name of the file .html. .html. So once you are done typing the name of the file, just click on enter. When you click on enter, it opens up this, right? Now let's go over HTML basic structure. Let's go over HTML basic structure. So let's go over HTML basic structure. Let's go over basic HTML structure. So when you start creating, so I say tag. So for HTML, anything between this is like HTML use what's it called? Okay, let me on my screen a bit so it will be much easier for you guys to see it well. I hope you guys are seeing it now well. Can you see my screen well? Guys,
Yes, we can see your screen.
is it small? Do I increase it more?
Increase it a little bit.
Okay. Is it now okay?
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So now, so this is what we call a tag HTML. So this greater than and less than sign. So this what so now the same way when you want to in English we give commands. So now in HTML for you to give a command that the browser, because everything you're going to be doing in web development is you talking to the browser, and then the browser trying to interpret what you just what you just said to him, right? Now every valid command must be inside this, inside a tag, inside a greater and a less than sign, right? Every valid command must be inside a less than and a greater than sign, and it is called, so this is called a tag, right? And then okay, let me just use my notepad to explain more. So before we start writing the code, now every command, okay, let me increase. So now every command must be inside a tag. So this is called a tag. Now then a tag name, right? Now the next thing is that you can then put your text inside here. Hmm? Now the next one is the closing tag. So now once you start a tag, you must close it. So you must surround your tag with what we call opening tag and then the closing tag. So let me just open tag, then close tag, closing tag, right? So it's you must have your opening tag and then you must have your close tag. Right, look at how it works. So you let's say you have, so it's not like there's a random name. So there are specific commands or specific tag names we're still going to be discussing. So, but I'm trying to just lay down what how do I put it? Like lay down a structure. That once we start going into the practical aspect, so it will be much easier for you to follow, right? So now every tag must have a opening tag, so and it must be every valid tag must have close and opening brackets, and then everything that has to every text must be inside this, inside in between the open and the closing tag, right? So we have the opening tag name. So let me write closing tag name, right? So let's go to our HTML. So now when we start writing our code, the first thing we need to do from every HTML valid page, right? First, then the next thing is the exclamation mark, right? Now the next thing I'm going to type is doc type, okay? HTML. Let me explain. I know this thing is looking like Chinese now currently, but let me explain. Now, what does this thing do? What does this thing do in your web page? So these are very important because the whole job, our whole job as a web developer is for us to be able to explain our or interpret our imaginations to the system, to the browser, to your Google Chrome or your Prime Mini or your Safari to understand and then implement what we want it to implement. Now, what this means is document type. So let me explain it here. Let me explain it here. So the exclamation mark means it must be a valid HTML type. So it must treat the entire document, this entire file as an HTML file, right? So the same way you have your music files that okay, so the music file must be treated as a music file. Imagine you having a music file, you click on the music file and it's opening as PDF. Then you open the PDF and you're seeing zeros and one. You'll be like, wow, this is let me see another miracle. That kind of a thing. So but for this means this first line of statement must be at the top. So this tells the computer, it tells your web browser that it should treat your entire file as HTML file, as hypertext markup language file, right? So now the first one, the first sentence you see here, this is must, this exclamation mark means must treat this file as HTML. Now the next one you see doc type. This doc type means document type. We are trying to tell the HTML because we only we have more than one type of document in the internet. We have XML, we have other type of documents. So this doc type means this doc type means document type. Document type. So now the next you see the next phrase, that is HTML. So we're trying to tell you that you should treat this as HTML file, and document type, you consider this as HTML, valid HTML file. And the document type that we want you to treat as is HTML. So which is text markup language. Hypertext markup language. So that is what forms this first basic pillar of doc type HTML. Right? This is the first pillar. The next one you see coming down, you have something else called HTML. Now, everything you're going to be writing on this page, right? Okay, I want to take it bit by bit. Everything I'm going to be writing on this page will be wrapped inside this, like putting an opening HTML. So everything you're going to be writing on this page will be inside this HTML. Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? Guys,
Wait,
guys,
you mean like inside HTML, as in like inside the bracket or something like that?
inside this place. Okay, let me show you my code. I mean inside this place, inside here, inside here, right? So everything you are going to be writing on your entire HTML on this page will be inside here, this place now, right? Because I said something here, I said something here. I said that your tag, you must have HTML opening tag name, then text, then closing tag name. So every other thing you're going to be writing on this entire page will be inside here. Will be inside here. So now the first step is that we already authoritatively we already commanded was it command or instructed the web browser to open this strictly as HTML. Now the next other stuff is that we're going to be wrapping every entire stuff we're going to be writing on this page inside HTML tag. So I said this is called a tag, right? You're still going to be talking about other tags, but these ones are the basic structure. So the basic structure. If you go to any website now, if you come to your, like, you can just maybe particularize this now. Just go to your open your browser. Okay, let me show you something quick. Something like which website now? Um, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, YouTube. Yeah. Show you something quick. Now, if I open the source code for this by right clicking, coming to like this, right click, come to what's it called? Inspect. So if you notice something here, you notice the first thing here. I don't know if you guys are seeing my screen. Let me try to zoom in. You notice this YouTube now, the first, okay, zoom. You notice something here. You notice that you first of all have your doc type HTML. Then you have your HTML. So this is the basic structure for any website, right? This is the basic structure. You have your doc type first. Then every other thing you're going to be writing inside the website is going to be wrapped around this HTML. So the next another tag that's very important is this head tag. The next thing is called the head tag. So we are going through the structure of HTML. So what's the head tag? So the head tag allows you to tell the system, the website, what you want to, everything are going to be seen on the top of this website. For example, when you come to this place now, you look at here now, you see something like running VS Code. Come to this side, you see something like GitHub. Come to this side, what's it called? Come to this place, you see Bootcamp. This like has different titles, different stuff. So everything that is going to be at the top of this browser is going to go inside this header tag. Let me. Am I too fast? Are you guys get following me? So the structure is you have your doc type first, this one, right? The next one is you have your HTML to wrap around everything you're going to be having. So now after the HTML, we're going to be having next. What we're going to be having is the head, like your human head, like your head. So this head is where everything that's going to be at the top of the browser is going to go inside the head. Now after the head, you come down. The next you're going to have is the body. I'm coming. The body. Right? Let me just type it. Okay? The body. So now everything everything that's going to be inside the website, everything inside this place now, everything inside this place now is inside the body. Will be put inside the body. Anything here, anything that will be at the top of this place now will be inside the head. So now, what are the example of things that can be inside the head? The first thing that is going to be inside the head here is the title. So the title of your website. So this is a good example of what will be inside this head. So now you open what we call title. So now let's save this as bootcamp, right? Then once we save, now we already installed our live server. So if you look closely here, if you look closely at the bottom of this HTML page of this our VS Code, you see something like live server in your laptop, or you can just right click if you don't have it there. Come to okay, let me just right click. Think this thing is too big. Just decrease a bit. We come to live live server. Oh, okay. So my screen is too big. Like it's super zoom. So I don't know if I need to decrease the screen a bit. You can right click, scroll down here, and then you find live server down. Open with live server. Right here. Open with live server. Or you can still come down to this here, to this place here. Click on live server. So I'm going to click on this one down here to see. So it's going to open up this our page. This is what we just wrote down. So notice something here at the top of this place. Have bootcamp. Can you guys see the screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see it.
Okay. So now if you notice something, you see bootcamp here, Abby. seems I'm going to let me just split the screen into two. Oh, it's not going to work. I have to move back and front. So now if I change this title now to web class, and save. So to save, you can use Control X to save, or you can come to save, then click on save for you to save the file. Then you can just do Control X to save your HTML file, or you can just go there and click on save. Now, once you save, just come to your browser. Now notice what we have then is now web class. Are you guys following me?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now what we have here is web class. So here now I said, like what I explained, everything that's going to be at the top of this place, at the top here, is going to be put inside the head. Everything at the bottom, anything will be in the body, like on the body of the page, we put inside the body, right? Inside the body. Now let's move. So now understand the structure. Understand the structure so you don't make mistake when you are trying to write your own code. So the video will still be available. Understand the structure. After the HTML tag, the next thing we had was this HTML, right? Now inside the HTML, we wrapped around. Okay, we also close the HTML. Okay. Now the next thing is that we had our head. Had our head. Now inside this head is where we are going to be putting everything on the top that's going to be on the top. A good example of what's going to be on the top is your okay, is your title. So the title of the page. So let's call this one web page. Now once you are done with this, next structure you are going to be having is the body. So the body is not going to be inside the head, it's going to be outside the head. Outside the head. This is the basic structure. So I'm still going to push this file. Okay, I'm going to just clean it up and then push it to the WhatsApp group after class. So now if you notice something, you already have your head. Inside the head, you're going to be having your title. The title is the name of your site. Now the next structure, okay, let me just give it a lot of space. The next structure we're going to be having is the body. This is where we start our coding, right? The main coding, the main coding. So first, let's try something like hello. Let's see how it's going to look. Hello world. So click on save. Now one thing that like what when I started, I explained something about extension. Extension enables you to write quick and faster code. Now what one of the benefits of using live server, like I just opened up live server, when I clicked on live server, is that when you save your code, when you save, it automatically refreshes the browser and then like gives you the like saves, automatically displays it here on your web browser for you. So once you want to start writing your code, once you open your file, just click on um that's this button here, this live server, and then open up your live server and then start writing. So it will be much more easier for you. Now, so moving forward, okay, just give me a second. So now moving forward, so now we have our hello. So once you open to our browser, you see our hello displayed here. So we can still have something else. Let me clean up this hello. Once I click on save, I have my name is Joseph. So mm. so you still have the other line appear. So how are we doing? So now this is the basic structure. So let me just run over this structure now once again, and then we move to attributes. So the main cuckoo of the whole matter now. So let me go back again. Have doc type. Have your doc type HTML. The next one is your HTML. So this HTML is going to be wrapping around everything you have. Now you open your HTML, you have your head tag. Inside the head tag, you find the title of the page. So this we call class one or the web class. Just put them on capital letters. So bootcamp. Okay. Now outside the head, you have your body. So now inside this body, so you're going to be putting anything that's going to be in the body of the page. Like we wrote hello, then hi, and then the rest. Now let's go over something else. So HTML tags. So we have uh, more than 200 HTML tags, but we're going to be talking about in the course of this today the important tags, like the one we're going to be using throughout, and then the popular ones, the rampant ones, and then the rest. So let me just list down the tags. Okay, the first tag we're going to be talking about is what we call p tag. Now, can you guys hear me? Are you following?
Yes, we can hear you.
So are you seeing my stream? Is my stream like bold enough?
I can see it.
No, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is p tag. So now, what is p tag? So okay, let me just do the p tag. This is how p tag looks. You then have your text inside the p tag. And what does the p tag? So like I said, you need to have your opening tag, the tag name, the opening tag name, and then the closing tag name, right? So now this p tag, what p tag means is paragraph. What p means is paragraph. So like say when you write your sentence and then you write your letter, then you have your paragraph. So P means paragraph. Now notice something. Let me go back. Let me just clean it out. So notice when we typed um my name, and then we Joseph, right? And then we typed how are you doing, right? So now once I save and I come over to this place, notice that it didn't respect that I had a new line. So it just wrote every entire stuff on the same line. So now this is where p tag comes in. So we use p tag to have to give some things new line. So let me close this one. Okay, this first sentence, this paragraph. So we use because HTML doesn't have a way of differentiating lines. So now we use p tag to tell HTML, okay, we are done writing on this line, right? You are done with this sentence. Move to the next line. So to implement this, you just put your p tag. It's open and close p tag. So VS Code. So with the help of the ID, so once I just open up, write the first one, the first tag name, so the VS Code will just automatically close and then put the last the closing tag for me, so I don't have to like type a lot. So now I'm going to paste this thing here, and then what is the difference here? So notice that now once I had that my p tag had the stuff put on p tag, so it was able to respect this line, right? So I was able to respect the line. So I'm going to also put this one on a p tag. How you're doing on a p tag. So automatically, so you notice that it gives this new line. So if I have something else to write, so let me say, since I'm done with what is your name, how are you doing? So if I have something like I am fine, and let me see, I want to put I am fine. So now the next best approach is I am fine, right? I am fine. So you put them on a p tag. So we put our text on a p tag. So p tag will help us once we are done on that line, like once so that we don't have crappy websites where everything is patched together. So now the next one, the next tag I'm going to be talking about is what we call heading tag. So let me just still put it this place. So HTML tags. I'm still going to be sharing this file in the group. So HTML. This is class notes HTML tags. So the first tag we talked about was P. I said P means paragraph. Paragraph. I don't know. Paragraph. The next one I'm going to be talking about is H. Now H means heading. And it'll be like we also have head, yeah. So we have to let me say this similarity. Like we have head tag. The head tag is the one, this one here, that's going to be at the top. Let me show you. This is the head tag. Then we also have the heading tag. The head tag is going to be up, while the heading tag is going to be inside the page. So what's the difference between the head tag? The head tag contains things that are going to be displayed at the top of the browser, while the heading tag is used to differentiate, to give something a topic. Let's say a topic. So let's say we have something like we want to give a topic. Let's say we want to start writing our code and then we want to give a topic. We use the heading tag to give a topic, to differentiate topics. So now the heading tag, so heading, H means heading tag. So now one thing about heading tag that is unique you should understand is that heading tag runs from H1 H1 to H6. Just means heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. So now the other unique thing you should understand about heading tag is that the bigger the number, the smaller the tag, the font, the size of the text. So let me just put it here and then show you something. Okay, let me take it over here. So this is I'm going to be using H1. So H1, and then let's call this heading 1. Heading 1. So when I save and then come over to this place, do something. So let's look at how bold and then how big this thing is, right? So heading tags are used for differentiate, for adding head and topics or heads for your document. The same way when you're writing a letter, right? When you're writing a letter, maybe a formal letter, and then you have topic, right? When you are done with your address, your when you're writing an informal letter, when you're done with your personal address, the address of the recipient, and then you have your topic or the head and the title of the letter. So the same way you use heading tags for that. So now the smaller the heading tag, the bigger the heading tag, the smaller the size. So heading 1 is the largest. So if I have something like H2, that is heading 2. Then have let me say type heading 2. So when I click and come here, so you notice that heading 1 is bigger than heading 2. So the same way I said, the bigger the heading, so the bigger the heading number, the smaller the text. So I'm going to copy this and then let me copy this heading so I don't have to type heading multiple times. So come down here. So let's check other ones. So heading H3, I'll paste V, Control V to paste. So heading 3. So I will come over here. So let's have our H4. So I'll see paste again. Control V, H4. So the next one, H5, heading 5, I finish. Heading 5. The next one is heading 6. That's the final one. Let me just paste heading 6. That's the final one. So you guys can see that heading 1 is the largest, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. Right? Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. Okay? So we already have our heading. So this is for heading tags. Now the next one, so let's look at another tag. So this is for heading tags. So the next tag we're going to be looking at what we call the div. So now div means division. Like now we use the div tag for containing a specific set of information. So let's say now we have variety of informations on the page, but we need to group. So we use div to group informations together, right? We use div to group. So now div doesn't have let me see any other special like maybe a special reaction you need to see or a special action you need to see when once it is used. So but just know that when you run it, the browser um understands div. So div is just used for creating a section, just making something, grouping a set of information. So I can just copy this and then put it inside a div. Right? This enables me to create a section, like group this information together. The same way we get a broom and then we use rubber band and rubber to group them together. So the same way for divs. So now the next one we're going to be talking about another stuff. Let me just also put it here. Here is now my so div. So div means division, and then div is used as a container. As a container, maybe serves as a container. Now the next one we're going to be talking about span. Okay, before we talk about okay, let me just type out the ones we're going to be talking about. So I'll go back to them. So let's talk about something like strong. Strong. Strong bold makes a text bold text. So the next one is so I just want to bring list down the tags here so that I will just go through them on the VS code so that I don't have to go back and front again. So the next one is I. I means italics, I tag, italics. The next one, the next one I. So the next one is U, underline, underline. So the next one, which other one? Span. Span is let me see, a mini, what's it called? A mini div, right? Used to let's say we used to differentiate, add maybe a special set of style, right? For a particular maybe text or an element in a sentence. So we are still going to go through it. So let me just okay, let me just give quick explanation. Style to a text in a paragraph. So now the next one, which other thing? Talk about input tags. Okay. Talk about media, audio, image. Okay, let's start with img. Happening image. So used for image. So let's stop here now and just still come back to add more. Okay. So now, so we have talked about div, talked about paragraph, talked about heading. So let's have a sentence. So okay, good example. Let me use this sentence. So now I'm going to add strong. I'll create a tag. Sorry, so strong, right? Yourself. So let's see how it's going to look. So notice something that once you type strong, now this thing the yourself becomes bold. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys following?
Yes, you are following.
Am I too fast?
No, you are doing okay.
Okay, so excuse me, let me drink water, beg. Just give me some minutes. Okay, Sorry guys, okay. Sorry for the interruption. Please, I had to drink water. Am I still online? Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so
Continue.
let's continue. So what you will notice here now is when I added strong to this Joseph, right? It made it bolder. Made it bold. Like the same way I said that strong makes text bold. So now the next one, okay, let me add italics here. So for you to add italics, you just do I, then paste this in between. So this is something you have to wrap like the same when I started the same way I said that when you want to put a tag, you have to wrap a tag right inside wrap the item on inside a tag. Right, you have your opening tag, this opening tag, and then the closing tag. And then for you to close the tag, you need to put this forward slash, right, with the same tag name you opened it with. So if I should save and then let's go back to our web page and see something. So look at this doing. So I added italics to the doing, and then you notice that it bent like it's a bit stylish now, and it's looking a bit more fun and beautiful. Okay. So the next one is underline. Okay. So now let's put underline here. For you to underline, you put B. I say B. Sorry, you to underline. So save to underline. Right, underline. So it's underlined. Look at the fine here. It's already underlined. So now the next one. So talk about image. Let's see how to add image to our website. So now for this, I'm going to come to this place, right? This is by default. This is my index page. This is the bootcamp folder we have been working on. So I'm going to add an image. So I'm going to go to my image folder, pictures. So probably grab one. I don't know. Okay, let me grab this. Going to copy. Control C to copy. Then come over to this place and back to this place. Where is it? Bootcamp. So I'll paste it. Control V to paste. Now I will rename this so it will be much easier for me to type in. I'll just rename it to IMG or image one IMG one. So just save. Now if we come over to this side to this place and then click on this place, you notice you see the image here. Can you guys see my screen well? Notice you see the image here. Like you already have the image on this folder. So the procedure is very important. So for you to access image, so we're still going to be talking about maybe when we start doing CSS or later, talking about how to get images that how to display image that is not inside your project folder. But for the sake of simplicity first, we're going to be working on how to display images inside your specific folder. Now, another thing you need to notice that so when you are trying to the image file has this extension of JPG. Now for us to display, okay, so this is going to lead us to what we call HTML attributes. So what's HTML attributes? HTML attributes are extra informations you can add to a specific tag, to some tags, to enhance the performance of the tag. Let me come again.
Please write
HTML
that down
attribute.
on the note that
Okay, I
you'll
should
be
write it
sharing
down.
for us. Yes.
Okay, HTML attributes. Okay, are extra commands that can be added to a tag to specific tags, not all tags, to specific tag to tags to enhance or to extend their ability. I hope I'm feeling the ability correctly. Abi? The ability. So our extra command.
BILITY. This is the second I.
Okay. This okay. Is the second I, Abi? Ability.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure this is correct. But yeah, sure. Is this not jump now? Or WAEC? So now HTML attribute are extra commands that can be added to a specific tag or to specific tags to extend the ability. Okay. Now let me give you a good example. Now this image. Now image. Okay. So as your image. Oh. So image is okay. We have type of tag. Okay. Wow. This is even getting more deeper and advanced. Yeah. God, I'll try to explain it in the simpler manner. So there are some tags that we call self-closing tags, right? So there are some there are some today like is it called in physics the same way we have in physics there are some exceptions to some general laws. The same way we have in HTML, there are some tags that we call self-closing tags. So those kind of tags doesn't require you to close it with another tag. A good example of that self-closing tag is this image tag. So instead of having something like this, something like image img, right? What you're going to be saying is something mostly like this, something like this, or some scenarios you don't have to just leave it like that. Right? Are you guys following me? Okay, let me just try to write it down. So we have what we call self-closing tags. Self-closing tags. So most self-closing tags doesn't require text, doesn't require you to put in text or wrap them around, or doesn't need a text to be wrapped around. How do I explain this, man? English. Yeah. So those closing tags are just tags that you want to just display something like they're straightforward. You don't use them like they're not like p tags. You have to put text in between or heading tags or like div or like strong on those. Those ones just they're used to display stuff or to render stuff on the page. They don't need extra stuff apart from the attribute that we're going to be passing to them or giving to them. So now image has one attribute called the first attribute we're going to be looking at in image is what we call source. So source. So now in short form we're going to be having so you don't spell the source full. Like this source is going to be src. So now the next thing is the equal to and then your let me I want to just type it down like manually. Your quote. Now inside this quote is where you're going to be putting the name of the image. Right? This is very important, the name of the image. So now if you're going to be manually entering the image, so which I'm going to be doing now, manual entering the image, the name of the image. So the next thing you're going to be aware of is dot, the file extension. So if this file is a PNG file, I need to put dot .png. If there's a JPEG file, that is dot .jpg, I need to put dot .jpg. So you don't have an image that is PNG and then you are putting JPG, or you have an image that is JPG and you're putting dot .png. right? You need to correspond with the exact stuff. So the next thing is dot jpg. So now you save. Let's see what's going to happen on our page. So coming down, so we have this big image of me. Wow. So now, if you notice that this image is overflowing, I think it's because I'm trying to zoom in. So let me just reset. Oh, it's still over. So now the best way to solve this to make it is it usable or readable? Okay, just give me a second. So okay. For you to make so now if you notice something I talked about attribute. So the first attribute that the image has is source. So now naturally, like normal, we can just put image, but for us to like the way I stated here on this file, it's a command that can be added to specific tags to extend their ability. So now the first ability we have to extend here is the source, for us to get the source of the image that we need to display. Now the next thing we're going to do, there's another attribute called width. We're going to type in the width. So the width of the image, like your normal mathematics width and height. So your normal width, so that's it. So you can just put so now wow, this is going deep, a bit deep. Now, this is going to lead us to what we call unit of measurement. So now HTML has what we call unit of measurement, like the same one we have in mathematics. So we have unit of measurement like your cm for math, your cm, your is it your gram, your which other one millimeters, the other one the rest. Actually, then we have what we call px. Now for systems you do what we call we need use what we call px. Now okay, let me explain px. Now when you have your images, right? When you get your images, so your image is like if you ever seen a painting the artist use what's it called, lines. He drew something like 100 by 100 lines, and then he's drawing things inside the image and the lines, using the lines to form the image. So now the same thing we have here on the system. So now your system is grouped in what we call px, that is pixels, right? Your system is okay. A good example is camera. So or even your phones, at the back of your phone, if you look at it, most Android phone will be like this is 3.3 pixels. This is your phone camera is 4.3 pixels, and then the rest. Yeah, the bigger the pixels, the more bright and the more beautiful the image. The same way now we're going to be measuring this image by pixels. So we want it to take a specific unit of pixels, that is px, in the screen size, in our screen size. So you can see, just google about px and then maybe read more about it. But this class is taking longer than I thought, man. So I need to a bit rush. We have like about 29 more minutes left, so I need to finish up what I have for today so that we don't keep revisiting topics. So now we are going to be given this image, let's say 200 px, then the height. So we're also going to be given the height on that px. So let's give it 200 by 200 px. So this is the image now. So we had to reduce it by, so given it 200 by 200. So now the original size of the image, so let's check the original size of the image. So if we need to see the original size of the image, you can just come here, click on the property, just right click and then go to click on property. So the image by default is where is it? Details, right? The image by default is 3000 is 3024 px by the height is 3904 px, that is 3900 px, 907 px, right? So now we reduce it to 200 by 200 px, so automatically, so the height should be 200 px, the width should be 200 px. So in web programming, this in our class, we are still going to be okay. Let me just put a unit of measurement, HTML, unit of measurement. So within measurement. So the first one we talked about now that I just showed how to use is px, which is just pixels. Abi? Now the next one. So now the next one. So the next one we're going to be talking about like you also have in your, you see what we call em. So can't even remember the full meaning of em. So well I'll still get back to this to still talk about em. So the next another unit of measurement you see in HTML is you see percent, that's your normal percent, your normal percent. So the next one we're going to be seeing is which other one? Which other one? No, I can't even remember again. My head is screwed up. Let's just leave this one this way. So we still look at more. You see how about your CM, right? You see how about your CM. So these are some common HTML. Even we still see this in HTML. We still see this measurement units in JavaScript. Is it JavaScript or CSS? So these are common unit of measurements. Now the next one, okay. So we already display the text. Now let's talk about something another important topic in this HTML. So what we call comments. Comments. So what is comment? Just give me a minute. So sorry for the interruption. Sorry. So now comments. So what is comments? Comments um are we use in, so comment is a way that you can tell the computer not to display a particular set of codes or HTML tags that is currently on your code. Right, let me show you a good example. Now we have this how are you doing, and then we have these ones. So now sometimes you might be facing an error, or sometimes you might not want this to display this my name is Joseph to display, or maybe any other stuff to display. So now, or then we use comment to tell the system not to display this particular line of code. Another use of comment is when you are trying to explain your code. So now you'll be very soon you'll be working with people that are not in Nigeria, or maybe people not in Enugu, or outside Enugu or inside Enugu, and then or you'll be working in a big project very soon. And then what happens is that most of the times when you start writing complex projects, the truth is that after a long while, let me say after writing this year now, maybe 2025, then you come back to the same code. Most of the times, you notice that there are a lot of stuff you don't even understand that the way you wrote them down. Because when you are writing this currently, you're under pressure and a lot of stuff are going on. So now coming back, so how do you explain that same code to yourself and then you understand? Or maybe you have someone else you need to explain the code to. So we use comment to explain the code. So now let me show you a good example of comments here. So how to put comments. So what is how to use comments? So how do you put comments? You just do something like this. So your first anchor bracket, then your exclamation mark, then two dash, then you close it with two dash. Let me just manually try to close this one. So close it. So this is how you close your stuff. So first is the first two exclamation, the anchor bracket, exclamation mark, then the last two. So now you can write anything here. So let me just put something like hello, hello there. So now when I come to my HTML, you won't be able to see this. You won't be able to see this. You'll not be able to see this hello here, but it's on my code. So now you'll not be able to see this hello wall here. You'll not be able to see this hello wall here, but it's on my code, right? We also use comment for describing our code. Use comment for telling the system not to run a particular stuff, but the thing will be on your code. So from now henceforth I'll just be using comment to explain. So here now I'm going to be commenting this to explain what I just did. So this is heading tag. So this is p tag. So another thing, we have two types of comments. We have single line comment and we have multi-line comments. So what is a single line? So how do you do it? So now the single line comment basically when your comment is this a single line comment, right? Now multi-line comment is you have this code and you want to okay, let me say I want to comment out this entire stuff. So this entire stuff. So now I most of the time instead of doing it one after the other, then writing adding exclamation mark this, I can just come here and do something. I think it's this for multi-line comments HTML. Let me just put this mic. It's not working. I don't even remember. Let me check. In Google. Okay, I think HTML is still the same, but in other programming language. So in other programming languages, you have a different stuff for doing multi-line comment and also a different stuff for doing single line comments. So that's it. So this for comments. So now what else? So we talked about how to display images. So are you guys following me?
Yes, we are following.
Am I too fast? I don't know. Okay, so let's continue. Now, data tag. Let's talk about video. I'm still going to do the same thing. Come to my this place. Come to this go to video. So I'll just grab one random video. Okay, okay, I'll just get this. Copy, Control C to copy, and come to bootcamp. I'll rename this. This name is too long, so I'll just name it vid. Right now, displaying video is a bit different from what we used to do. Right, it's a bit different. So so the first thing you start with is have your source, right? I think it's source. um or is it video sef? I can remember again. So vid. So now the next thing, you put your source like your HTML, like your image. So I'm going to, it's, I think I'm missing something here. Let me just check it up. I think I'm missing something. Okay, so you have your video. Now inside the video you have your source. Your SCR source. Now the video name, vid dot mp4. So let's check the page. Let's see what happens. Okay. So now another attribute that we need to pass to this is what we controls. Controls. So this control enables us to be able to click on play. Okay. So okay. Now the structure of displaying a video on a page. So let me go through it again. The first of all, you have your video tag, a video, right? Inside, in between the video, you have source. Have source. Now inside the source, you're going to pass the first attribute you're going to be passing to the source is um your source, the source of your video. So where to find the video. So the name of the video is video.mp4, vid.mp4, mp4. Now one thing you notice something when you save it just show you the video blank, right? Now for you to be able to play the video, now in this HTML, this place here, add what we just type control, enter control. So the control attribute, the controls. Now controls attribute allows you to have this key, this thing here, down here. Notice something different. Normally we don't have, what's happening?
You put it down instead of up.
Hmm?
The control should be down, like the video down.
Down, Abby?
Mm.
Are you
That's how
sure?
you did it the first time. Yeah, that's how you did it the first time.
Okay, let me.
Yes, that one down, the one down, the video down.
Look, I don't think the control should be up. I think I'm missing something again. Mm, let me check over here. On the spelling controls. Okay, so then it was wrong. I was not spelling it correctly. So controls. So now controls will give you this thing down here, this thing here. So if you click on this now, so I can play this movie now. Now the next attribute like we have on your image is the weight. So we're going to be reducing the weight to let me say 200 px also. Then the height to 200 px. Height to 200 px. So I can just click on this, and then I don't know. Can you hear the sound?
There's a bigger dream. Yes, you
Right?
can
Can
hear
you hear the
it.
sound?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now you can click here to expand to get it to full screen, and then
Waiting.
this is for video adding video. So I'll just grab this out outside the well. I'm going to grab this and then this place and comment this is video adding video to page adding video to page. This one adding image.
So I want to understand something. So image has this thing. Image doesn't have a closing this thing. Why video has it?
No,
Like,
yeah. So there are two types of. I said in some like the same way in physics or in maths we have exceptions rules or even in economics. So now for image now there's an exception for image. There's what we call self-closing tags. Those tags doesn't necessarily need anything to be in between them. So you don't have to put them on you don't have to close them. Right? Some people so in some code you see something like this. Someone trying to do something like this. It's still at the same or not just doing it at all, right? So automatically like this is okay. So if we have maybe like notice in video, we have to pass source, we have to put source in between, right? That's why it has closing tag. So if there's nothing you are going to be putting in between of the tag, you don't have to close the tag, right? Example is like this one now, this paragraph here now. So we need to put text inside the paragraph, right? That's why we had to close the paragraph. So there's what we call self closing tag. Image on the tag.
I didn't get that quite.
Now, image now. They are they are tags. There are tags that we call self tag. Those tags have an exception. You don't need to close them, right? So example of that self closing tag is this image. Image doesn't need anything to be closed. So like image is just like this. There's another one like another good example of that self closing tag, which is break. Something like this, BR. So this doesn't need to be closed, right? This adds this break now. This BR means break adds a new line, right? It gives a new line, a space, a new line. So now break doesn't need closing. Break doesn't need closing. Break is a good example of a self-closing tag. Did you get it?
Yes, yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand it now.
Okay. So now the next one. So as I just remember, so let me just add break. So break, this mean break. Okay. Break adds new line. New line. Where adds new line, right? So now what else? Which other tag? So it's been a long day already, man. I have 6 minutes more. So we also have some other tags that I would like to cover, but it's going to take time, Shabo. Let's see how we're going to be doing them. Let's see how fast we can move. Or let's leave it okay. Let's just leave those ones on Friday, right? So let's just call this a day. I think you have taken what 2 hours already. Wow, this class has been long. So do you have any questions?
No, no questions, but I noticed that I still try to
Do you
install
have any question?
VPS. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you have any
I don't have any question, but I just
code?
want to ask something.
Yeah, yeah.
Not about the
Okay,
code.
so what
I
happened?
still try to. Hello?
Install the VS Code.
Yes, but it's still doing the same thing. It's saying that I cannot download it
Okay,
on your
I can
server.
hear you.
Did you hear what I said?
Okay, so what happened? Can you share your screen? Do you know how to share your screen? Just click on this present. Yeah. Now click on this section. You just share your own screen so I can you can see it. Munachi, can you hear me? So you present like okay. So can you join this meet with your laptop? Ah, Munachi.
I don't know why the thing is not working, sure. I'll try to connect it to our system.
Okay, see what will happen here. Okay, see what will happen here. Just leave it tomorrow, and then we'll just your system code is your system Windows version is 64. Stop 64 bits.
Yes,
Munachi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, tomorrow I'll send you a version that you install now. Okay, I said let's leave it tomorrow. I'll send you a version that you install on your system. A
Okay, okay.
version. Okay, now no wahala now. Good night. So
All right, good night.
since is there any question for tonight?
No, but if there's any, I'll still go
Okay,
through it. If
thanks
there's
for
any,
having you
I'll,
people.
I'll
Okay, okay, no wahala. Alright, and good night. So thank you, Munachi, thank you, Stanley, and then Olamide and Mr. Chris for joining the class this night. So it was really awesome having you people.